tomorrow. We begin in D.C., where Madeleine Rivera has the latest out of the Middle East. Maddie.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. Iran says it attacked U.S. targets in Kuwait and Bahrain in retaliation to that second round of U.S. strikes. CENTCOM says it hit about 90 Iranian military targets, including air defense systems, coastal surveillance assets, and missile and drone storage sites. U.S. forces say they are trying to degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz after Tehran hit 3 ships earlier this week. The latest tit for tat comes as President Trump claims the ceasefire is over. Yet he also insists the attacks don't mean a return to war, and he indicates he will allow the peace talks to continue.
They're sort of crazy, to be honest with you. They're sort of crazy. They're a little bit out of control, but they want to make a deal. Badly.
Iran remains defiant. Their top negotiator saying America still hasn't learned that bullying and breaking promises are no longer cost-free. Let me put it plainly. If you strike, you'll get hit. Don't flail around pointlessly and you'll sink even deeper. The Strait of Hormuz will only open with Iranian arrangements, not American threats. A spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry is also warning of grave consequences to U.S. allies that have helped with the strikes in Iran, saying Mark Rutte's repeated admissions of Europe's willful complicity in the U.S.-Israeli war of aggression against Iran only confirms once again that they were not impartial in this brutal, unlawful aggression. Yet the NATO Secretary General's relentless self-congratulation for serving an illegal war of choice does not reflect strength. It exposes the servile mindset of a fawning courtier who fancies that flattery can erase a king's contempt. The rhetoric and mixed messages raising questions about whether a peace deal can actually be achieved. Colleen Todd.
Questions indeed. Madeleine Rivera, live for us in Washington. Maddie, thank you. All right, let's bring in Senior Fellow at the Independent Women's Forum and Council on Foreign Relations member, Dr. Qanta Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. So it would seem that Iran is willing to risk escalation with the United States in order to maintain control of the Strait of Hormuz. So if this memorandum of understanding was a way to buy some time, that time may be coming to an end here.
I think Iran has been very clear in its actions. It is looking for war. It is not moving towards any kind of reconciliation with the region or the United States. The strikes last night are very significant. The focus has been on Hog Island in the media. That's about the size of JFK, 15 miles off the coast of Iran. It's where Iran exports and loads millions of barrels of oil. But the targets have been on nearby islands, Qeshm Island, which is like Iran's floating aircraft carrier, infested with IRGC, fast boats, tunnels, all of their weapons, and the United States has struck that tremendously well. Also Abu Musa, an island that belonged to the UAE in 1971 that's occupied by Iran. And most likely some of these strikes have been staged from the UAE with the U.S. to that region. So this is President Trump and our military tightening the noose on Iran, bringing it to understand that we really have you by the throat, we have you by the jugular, and we are going to pressure you to release the Strait of Hormuz and defang the military defense of Hog Island, the oil refining, or oil exporting area.
Those specifics that you just mentioned, will that break them? And if not, what more do we need to break them?
I think the United States has extraordinary capabilities. While President Trump has been open to reconciliation, he's sending his negotiators, I think on July 11th, there's going to be more talks in Islamabad, led by our diplomats. He's very clear that Iran cannot be a nuclear power and cannot continue to jeopardize the whole Gulf region. Iran is attempting to hold hostage all of the world's oil infrastructure in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, even Iraq's export capability. And there is much more that we can do. We can, and we have data on all of the missile cities that are around in 29 of Iran's 31 provinces. We can go more aggressively for various infrastructures that impact, unfortunately, power, energy, water. We are holding them to account. And we can see just this week, the Ayatollah's funeral has been held in ceremonial processions in Iraq. That is Iran projecting power in the region. That's the center of Shia religion, those important places in Iraq. So Iran is now no longer run by clerics. That was led by military nationalists. So this is becoming hardline, and we are meeting them with force, and we will bring them to heel.
So Iran retaliated by striking, they say, Bahrain and Kuwait. Talk to us about where our Gulf allies stand right now when it comes to this renewed fighting.
It's a great question. And I think this may have been underpinning some of the tensions in NATO. Our Gulf allies are vulnerable because they're home to some of the most valuable infrastructure that the world's energy depends on. They also have around them, around the shores, hundreds of desalination plants that the region depends on for drinking water. And so the United States is hoping, and Britain is stepping up, that we have more capabilities in the Persian Gulf, British capabilities, French, and so forth. But France and many of the NATO allies want to wait until the war is over, and that's not acceptable.
Understood.
One final question before we let you go. It's the number one question that Carly and I get asked when it comes to the war in Iran. Can we end this war without boots on the ground?
So I feel we have remarkable capabilities and we have extraordinary allies. Particularly, let's bring to attention the allies of United Arab Emirates and Israel, which has not been fairly represented. It's been criticized publicly. So I do think we can put more pressure without endangering American lives further. However, with the amphibious assets in the region, I would not be surprised if after we've neutralized some of the defenses around these critical islands, that the United States troops, our Marines, may actually take some ground in order to increase pressure. That's not on mainland Iran. That's on those critical regional allies, which will open up the energy flows for the region.
Well, the president says the ceasefire is over, but that does not mean a return to war. So it's a fine line, and we are seeing how this country is walking it right now. Dr. Ahmed, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight very, very much. All right.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.